So did the e-tolling affect your daily travels?
Currently no, but it might.
Have you registered yet?
No.
Are you planning on registering?
No, not really. Not in the short term, at least until I know what is the actual conclusion and by when it's going to be implemented. No.
And do you think it's a good idea?
Yes. I think it's a good idea if it's going to be applied for the upkeeping of our roads. Thereby saying that it's tax fund, it's an additional means to tax, additional way to improve our road system and our infrastructure. Given that it should be on an honest system, I know that we're also paying quite a high premium for petrol and on other ways of tax. So yeah, I think the concept is good. I think the concept's there. I think there's quite a big a mistrust and a kind of a disbelief in will it be applied honestly, and it's not just going to a certain percentage of the population to increase their personal wealth. But yes, I think the concept is necessary, and I think it's a good concept. Yeah.
And do you think in the long term it'll succeed as an improvement to our infrastructure?
Yes, I think one of the critical things would be the premium of the e-tolling system. But in the long run, it could succeed. Yeah. But as we know, a lot of our road users are people that share in the form of the taxis. There are quite a lot of taxis on our roads, and I think very price sensitive market. Obviously the price is going to play a big factor in this. And I also know that from a tax perspective, if I had to vote, I would say that the largest portion of our society is quite negative about the amount of tax that we pay. So adding additional costs to the system or to the equation doesn't really support it in any way. So I think it's quite a sensitive time to implement the e-tolling system, but then again, you'll always be unhappy with what you pay.
Does the e-tolling system affect your daily travels?
Not really, because I'm going to be moving closer to work, but in terms of weekend travels, definitely.
Do you think you'll have to change your route to avoid e-tolls?
Well, the problem is, if I change my route, I'm going to get stuck in thick traffic, which is going to end up, hitting me harder because I will be using more petrol. So it's either I pay the e-tolls or I pay more petrol. So either way, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place.
And then, have you registered yet?
No.
Why not?
I'm waiting for the 11th hour.
And have you heard about this thing that the new fine that if you haven't registered, then it's R1.74 per kilometre? Will that incite you to register sooner? Or
probably. I think at the end of the day, all South Africans or all Joburgers, Gautengers will end up registering. But I think the extra fine will be an extra impetus to make people want to register. So yeah, I guess so.
So you'll register once it's the final moment?
Once the 11th hour, I'll probably register then.
And then, do you have a general opinion about the Sunrail e-tolling? Do you think it's going to succeed?
I think it's a very poor idea for the way the government to get money for the roads, given the fact that we already pay a roads tax from our petrol, we already pay a roads tax from the fact that you bought a car. So this is going to be another form of double tax. And also raises certain questions that, taxis are going to be exempted from this e-tolling. But then what happens if a taxi is empty? And what's the difference between a taxi being full and me taking my car and filling it up with people as a lift club? So there's a lot of gray areas that I'm not too really, sure about. And also, if you look at companies like Pick n Pay or Checkers and who transport goods on a day-to-day basis, they're not taxis, they're not buses, so they will have to pay. Now, they're not going to take away from their profits, but how they're going to cover up their costs is going to take up the price of food. So now you've got petrol prices going up, you've got people's salaries not being on the same level as inflation, and you've got price of food going up as well. So now basically the man on the street is getting hammered from all angles.
So have you registered for the Sunrail e-tolling?
Not yet, no.
Why not?
Because as of yet it won't affect my travels at all. Because I basically just take Glenwood, and so yeah.
Do you have any general opinions about Sunrail? Do you think it's a good idea that they've implemented this?
No, I don't, because our taxes on petrol is supposed to pay for the road maintenance. And big word corruption, it doesn't. So basically they just introduced a new tax system to pay for something we're already paying for. So I think ethically it's just wrong.
Do you think it'll succeed in the long run?
No.
So, do you know about the Sunrail e-tolling?
Yes,
Does it
I know.
affect your daily travel?
Not really. I don't. The routes I drive aren't at e-toll toll gate thingies.
Okay. Have you registered yet?
No, I haven't. No.
Why not?
I don't see the point in me registering for e-toll if I don't drive the roads that has e-toll thingies.
Okay, that's fine. And then, do you have any like general opinions about it? If you think it's a good idea?
I don't think it's a bad idea, but if you really want to do something like that, do it in the whole country, not just in Gauteng.
Will the Sunrail e-tolling system affect your daily traveling?
Me, no.
So you don't travel from
I don't
Perdeby?
travel to China.
Have you registered?
No,
Why not?
I don't see a point.